She didn't believe you, did she? Well, I told you that was going to happen. But that's okay. Some people just don't get it. But us? Well, we're different. We see things as they really are.
Just stop. Alright, she already closed the doorstep. Jack, whatever you're planning, I don't think the shadows are going to do what you want.
Oh, Blaine. There's more than one way to get what you want in this city. Come on now. When one door closes, another one opens up.
What are you planning?
Nothing serious. Now let's get moving. There's a special man I've been missing for too many years now. I don't want to keep him waiting much longer.
Good evening and welcome to the show. My name is Marina and I'm your host with the most for this evening. As I am for most evenings, except, I don't know, I feel a little extra special about this evening, so we're gonna roll with it. We have a very exciting show for you all. At least, I hope you find it exciting. You know, I don't think I've ever really taken the time to ask you what you think. I mean, I assume people listen and enjoy what I have to say. I was in line at the grocery store the other day. Good old Ruby Robinson patted me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, Marina, I think you're doing a bang-up job. Just nice and lovely, the perfect thing to relax to in the evening with all my cats." And I said thanks, because I hadn't talked to her before that moment. But she still enjoyed it. So, I think that counts for something. I hope that counts for something. I spend so much time each week trying to make the best show I possibly can. I are constantly in meetings, planning, discussing, organizing, all to give you the best show possible. It's hard work, and I really hope that it's worth it. I really hope that if you've had a long day and are feeling a little lonely, or if you just need something fun to put on for a bit, that we're able to give it to you, that I'm able to give you something. That's all I've wanted to do with this job. And if we're not doing that, well, what's the point of any of this? What's the point of me? Do I exist to give other people joy? Or am I just living in some delusion that I'm desperately chasing because I don't know how to do anything else? This is getting a little existential. So let's just move away from that and take a look at the news. A new section of the library has finally opened up to the public this week. After much rebuilding and renovation, this new wing is fully housed and ready for all of your needs. It specifically specializes in all the occult and witchcraft-related books, sources, and objects you could possibly want, including a full library of crystals available for checkout, and other materials, resources, and lists available upon request. It's pretty exciting. I asked my friend Jeremy about it when I was over at the library the other day, and he said, yeah, we're getting the whole thing in the library, which is great, I guess. I mean, research, reading, all that, good stuff, but I don't know. There's something off about the whole thing. Honestly, it might just be me. I can't really get into the whole witchcraft thing personally. Like, it's nothing against pagans and witchcraft people. It's just, every time I see those diagrams and symbols drawn out, I just get really sick to the stomach, you know? It's like everything's fine on the outside, and I know that I'm fine, but on the inside, my body's freaking out. Like, it's expecting some sort of terrible thing to happen. Again. I don't know. It's like I'm just suddenly sick and preparing for the worst. But is that like a trauma thing? I don't know. What even is trauma, really? I mean, I spent a decent chunk of my life trapped in a horrific and terrible void. I was literally ripped apart and put back together in a strange new order. My friends have died. Everyone I knew and loved is gone. And I don't think I can age anymore. It's been a decade and I still look the same. But that's fine, right? I mean, we're way past the statute of limitations on all the traumatic stuff. So that must mean I'm fine now, right? Right? It's fine. I mean, I still wake up hyperventilating and sobbing into my pillow every night, but that's a normal thing, you know? Cleanse the face, wash out the eyes. Everyone does that, right? What? No? Oh. Okay, well, what about the occasional deep dissociations? Sharp pains in my chest that force me to my knees? Make me feel like I'm about to die? Oh. Well, what about occasional shaky hands and... Oh. Okay, so maybe I'm not completely fine? Maybe getting shoved into the void does things to a person? Maybe the last decade of my life counts as severe mental, emotional, and physical trauma. Well, that's alright. I'm working enough at the library, and we're so busy with this new exhibit, I don't have time to think about my problems. And that's great. I just keep working myself until the problems fade into the background and eventually disappear on their own. I mean, that's totally the healthy thing to do. Anyways, yeah, new exhibit. A lot of people are really excited about it. And I have a couple movies for you here, Marina. Oh, and I also threw in that new book from the series you were talking about the other day. We just barely got it in, and I decided to save it for you. So, you're the first person to have it. I hope you enjoy. Jeremy followed this up by handing me the DVDs I was borrowing, and a book, which, by the way, is just as good as all the hype would lead you to believe. Anyways, there'll be more about this new wing of the library as it develops. For now, let's take a look at the weather for today. Spirits run free through streets today, skipping around with gleeful stride. Something mystical comes our way. A chill fills the air on a hazy day. Our outdoor plans are set aside. Spirits run free through the streets today. Trees dance and weave with graceful sway, a radiant rhythm that beams with pride. Something mystical comes our way. Howling winds carry with much to say. Echoing buildings have yet replied. Spirits run free through the streets today. Streetlights paint the town purple and gray. The shadows soon have no place to hide. Something mystical comes our way. The ghosts find moments at last to play, joyfully bouncing through skip and slide. The spirits run free through the streets today. Something mystical comes our way. Looks like it's windy today, a little hazy, and also cold. Be sure to wear a sweater at the very least if you're going out. Also, expect to see an interesting array of people today. They aren't exactly the liveliest bunch, but I definitely say that they have spirit to them. Anyways, this is all for the weather today. Live reports are coming in from the library, and it appears that the new section is a complete success. Large groups of cloak-wearing people and those with colored hair and many piercings search through shelves and collections of books, materials, and other things that you would need for all sorts of spells and rituals. Despite Jeremy's internalized dread at the sight of those diagrams, it looks like witchcraft is pretty neat, I guess. I wouldn't actually know anything about that because my mom was an old school Catholic and all of that type of stuff was frowned upon. Oh, and it seems this extra traffic is exciting activity in other sections of the library as well. The history books are flying off the shelves in historical records, metaphorically speaking, of course. And the fiction section is going wild, literally speaking, of course. The next book of the Bisexual Vampire Dad series just came out, and a lot of people are fighting over it, including one station legend, Rex Adams, who is currently wrestling the book away from a 12-year-old child. That might actually be the valid thing to do. I don't think any 12-year-olds should be reading about dads doing, spicy things that some adults do together. Other adults. Not me, no. I've always been more of an ace in the hole. Anyways, great success all across the library. Books are back in fashion. People are reading. And I'm glad to see this resurgence of reading ripple across the ready readers reared to rip through the library in this riveting revival. We'll look into this more as it develops. In the meantime, let's take a break. There's ads to run, bills to pay, and my cake pops just got here. So I'm going to hit the button, and then I'm going to eat those cake pops while sneaking in little bits and pieces that I can from the book I just checked out. So yeah, see you all in a bit.
Have you ever felt tired after a full night of sleep? Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the current day-to-day struggles of your life? Does it ever feel like there's not enough hours in the day? Where are we going? What are we doing? Do you ever feel lost? Do you ever feel confused? Do you ever find a strange cat in your house that refuses to tell you its name? You're trying to be polite, and yet this frustrating feline just refuses to give you the information you need to allow you to take care of the situation. Do you ever wonder whose cat this is? What's its deal? Where did it even come from? You don't own a cat, and certainly not this one. Do you ever sit there and question this cat? Do you ever try to ask this large, strange cat for its name, only to get no response because it's a very rude animal? And also, this cat is not a cat. It's a bear. And you really should have figured that out before you got too close. You're a person, and you have person needs. Astropensia is here to help. Consult your doctor before taking Astropensia. Do not take if you are pregnant or could become pregnant. Side effects may include headache, nausea, and mild internal bleeding caused by an inability to differentiate between a cat and a bear. You should probably get that checked out. Seek professional help if symptoms worsen. Take back today. Make the most of your time. Astropensia.
We have an update at the library. Snakes. There are snakes. To elaborate on that a little more, let me paint you a story with my words, as I often want to do over this radio broadcast. Imagine the library. Imagine all the people coming in and out excited for books, resources, and all the new exciting things available in this new wing. There's a lot of stuff going on, and with the increase of witchcraft and general occult shenaniganery, my dear friend who works at the library, Jeremy, was feeling a little anxious. And anxiety leads to stress, and stress leads to him ducking into the back corner of the library's archives, where there's old newspapers and documents and copies of biographies and other books that nobody really wants to read anymore. Not a lot of people go back there, or at least not the type of people to pay attention to someone going through emotional stress, which makes it the perfect place to hide behind the shelves, curl into a ball, and cry hysterically for a good long while. Right now, while all this is going on at the library, Jeremy is rocking back and forth, sobbing violently while repeating through rapid and panicked gasps, "This is totally healthy, not a trauma thing at all, not a trauma thing at all." And yeah, while he was gone from his post, a bunch of snakes got out, and now there's a bunch of witches and pagans trying to wrestle the snakes back into their snake box before it causes problems. Overall, I'm not sure if this is a healthy situation, but it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know what's going through Jeremy's mind, nor am I there in person to get the context. Mike's there, though. He's taking a little break from his letter collecting duties to go research raccoons at the library. Really try to embrace his garbage bear care. Mike didn't really say anything to Jeremy or ask how he was doing. He just sort of started quietly following and taking videos and live texting me all the things going on from afar without Jeremy looking. Which, okay, say what you will about the morality of the decision, but hey, we're able to give you the news as it's happening in real time. And besides, Mike's far from the most morally inconsiderate person to ever work at this radio station. Anyways, I have a horoscope report on my desk. Why don't we dive in and take a look? A starry dream on an endless night, a world that never seems to end. Moments in time filled with delights, the familiar laugh of a long-lost friend. Radiant lights paints the world with endless hue. Galaxies sway across the sky. You're safe beneath this heavenly view. Sit back and watch as the world trickles by. Side by side with the familiar face, basked in the vibrant colors of home. A magnificent dream in familiar space, leaving you always wanting more. A time in tune like a favorite song, all fades away when that person's gone. This one's a little different from the other horoscopes we've seen here. Interesting. Normally it's like a silly story about something random, or ominous foreshadowing about forces beyond my control. But this, well, I feel like I can understand this. This feels more sad than menacing or silly or anything else. It's just a reminder of who we were and what we can lose along the way. Time moves forward, things change, world's no longer what we knew it to be. Do you ever look in the mirror and wonder who is the person staring back at you? I know I do. love is a complicated thing. I don't necessarily mean romantic love. I don't really do that whole romance thing myself, but connection, I suppose, would be the right word. Connection is a complicated thing. We meet people, we make friends, we make memories, we make relationships, we make a life, and then we make goodbyes. We make loneliness and emptiness. We make nostalgia, wondering where all the time has gone. Every single hello is marked with the inevitability of goodbye. Every single beginning marks the end that is yet to come. We aren't made to last forever. And that's terrifying in its own way. We rise and grow, only to eventually fade and falter. Your body will quit on you someday. And then you'll be gone. And then everyone who knew you will be gone. And then all of this will fade away. What's the point of any of it? Why even bother starting something if it's only going to fade away? If nothing's going to last, what are we supposed to do? Personally, I don't really know. I wish I had a better answer for you, but I really don't. Things come, and things go. You can meet someone, make them your best friend, spend all your time with them, try everything, but in the end, they'll abandon you because you were just one part of the equation, and there was an old pile of paper somewhere that was more important. Endings hurt, but I guess there's something nice about it. I don't know. I think knowing that things won't last forever makes them feel more special. You have to make the most of the time you have and all the world around you. Be it from a cozy nest of raccoons in a radio station, or a new section opening up at the library, which has recently fixed its snake problem. Things are going super well over at the library, by the way. There's enough support and traffic that the library is considering renovating and revamping other parts of itself, like the poetry wing, which is currently a mess of crying teenagers, loose papers, and binder clips. Jeremy has managed to calm down from his crying and has returned to his post. Mike sent me the video, and shortly after, he went over to Jeremy and took him on a little walk outside. We discussed life, health, memories, garbage bears, and now Jeremy's back at work, helping people at the front desk, feeding little tiny mice to the box of snakes by his side, and smiling. He smiles as if the world never fell apart to begin with. Is this real? Is this healthy? I don't know, but it's something. Things come and things go. Life is shifting and changing, and all things come to an end. Despite that, we keep moving on. The comfort in knowing that everything ends is knowing that bad times will end. We'll make it through, and the sky will be as radiant as ever. Of all the things that die and end around us, I'm glad the night sky isn't on our list. Stay tuned for turning pages, curious minds, and people considering therapy. The night won't last forever, so make sure you make it good while you still can.
Dream Girl City is a production by Ahjay Schulze. It was written, produced, and acted by Ahjay Schulze. The poem featured for today is A Night You Once Knew by Ahjay Schulze. Have a comment? Want to join our group? Just want to ask and double check to make sure that my mental health is doing well, because the themes of this season is mildly concerning? Email this and more to DreamGirlCityRadio@gmail.com or check us out on social media. If you like supporting the podcast, please consider donating to our Acast support feature or simply rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts and talk about us online. We spread by word of mouth, and everything you do helps us grow our audience even further. Thank you so much for sticking with us through a very interesting and existential season. There is more to come, but until that time is here, just remember, it's okay to cry. It doesn't mean you're gonna die.